You're listening to the John and Heidi Show, now featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Farris.
Okay, dudes, let's walk this sucker.
On Sunny 93.3.
It's the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Mr. Dan Farris, now brought to you in Portuguese. Just kidding. I'm just trying to see what I can do to jack with Dan. How you doing, Dan?
Wow.
How you doing?
I think Portuguese is Spanish, technically, isn't
It is very similar.
Similar but different.
It's similar.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
so-
how about this?
I'll be translating.
Oui.
That's French.
Oh,
Close enough.
not as good as it gets. Barbara Walters is still among us. She's 92 today.
I thought you were going to say she's
wow.
Portuguese.
She may be. I don't know all that much about her, but 92. Nice job there.
I didn't know she was still around.
Oh, absolutely.
Huh.
Christopher Reeve, who I always really liked, brought new life to the character of Superman way back in the
Loved
day.
him.
Left his mortal coil back in 2004.
Yeah.
Will Smith is 53 today. 53.
Nice.
Huge day in this country's history. It was this very day in 1789, U.S. Congress proposes the Bill of Rights.
Nice.
That would include the first 10 amendments to the U.S. Constitution. Didn't come easy, though. There was a whole lot of fighting going on and a whole lot of people going, nope, we're not doing this.
Revolutionary War and
Yeah,
everything.
they originally drafted 17, went down to 12, and then ratified the first 10. So there you go. 1926, Henry Ford, being no slouch, announces the very first in this country in the work world, an 8-hour, 5-day work week.
Isn't that crazy?
Well, he had a little underlying agenda.
Oh, what was that?
See, his crews were working 6 days a week, and Sunday back then, of course, was a day of rest. Then it occurred to him, hey, you know what, I'm paying a pretty decent wage here. If I cut all these people loose on Saturday, they'll go buy my cars, which they did.
Yeah, they sure did.
That's like a true story.
That's a good idea, though.
And this shook the sports world, apparently. This day, 2015, Bruce Jenner officially changes his name to Caitlyn.
I remember that.
Yep, I remember that.
Applies for a Lane Bryant credit card.
I don't remember that part.
And the rest, as they say, is history. I know, you know, we all know, and we can just step right ahead gingerly through this thing.
We will do it extra gingerly on this Friday edition. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Mr. Dan Farris. Brought to you today by SiouxEmpireJobs.com.
If you take Viagra or Cialis, call now with your prescription and pay as little as $2 a pill. Call Pharmacy Shop 24/7 to get generic versions of Viagra or Cialis for as little as $2 a pill, plus free discreet shipping.
Call 800-214-7977. 800-214-7977. 800-214-7977. Again, that's 800-214-7977.
Time now for Ranger Dan's Critter Corner.
Well, I'm rough, tough, and ready. I'm a heck of a man. Eat my beans and weenies from a frying pan.
He's Ranger Dan.
Easy. I'm Ranger Dan. Well, I loves to wrestle bears and lasso ducks. Run over possums in my government truck.
He's Ranger Dan.
Easy. I'm Ranger Dan. Well, I loves all the campers and the animals too. If you're picking on critters, I'm coming after you.
He's Ranger Dan.
Yes, sir. I'm Ranger Dan.
Good morning, Ranger Dan.
Good morning, Ranger Dan.
Happy Friday, you two little love monkeys.
Yes.
You're looking good there, Randy. Heidi.
Ranger
Heidi.
Dan.
Hey, Heidi, can I maybe interest you in a plum?
No,
A
thanks.
plum.
Maybe a grape?
No.
I want a grape.
Maybe a raisin? No. Well, then how about a date? Whoa! Had to go around the block to get next door there, didn't we?
I was hoping you were working towards some wine.
Little radio rangers, let's cut through the silliness here and get down to brass. You know, speaking of things that grow, you know, we don't cover this a whole lot, but there's some pretty great vegetation out there in nature. And again, I call it nature because it's nature and it's neat, and I put them together and say it with me.
Nature.
This time of year, a whole lot of South Dakotans, they get ready. Sure, the pheasant thing's going on. Deer hunting ain't that far away, but a whole lot of people like to go hunting for mushrooms.
Yeah.
And me and Ranger Dan happens to be a pretty fungi.
Wow.
Love
Got a little information on some of the best mushrooms out there. If you give a darn, there are different varieties. There could be 3, 4, a couple dozen, a couple hundred. I'm not really sure. There's a thing called the maitake mushroom that is known as the hen of the woods.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Because they're clocking good. If you want to get real uppity about mushrooms, there's a little number called the orange chanterelle. Named so because, well, they're kind of orange and they're French. So you don't even really have to hunt them. You just walk by with a knife. They're going to stand up and wave a little white flag and jump right in your little tote sack there, which is nice. And you got a beautiful little shroom called the white pearl oyster mushroom. I really didn't dig too deep into these, and quite frankly, I don't know what they are, but I'm guessing there's a shell involved and they're somewhere in the water. Probably the biggest mushroom hunt going on in the great state of South Dakota is the morel. The morel, that is a South Dakota favorite by far. Now you're going after morel. You should probably know a little bit about it. Of course, that is name originated from the Sioux Falls, that original meatpacking plant, John Morel's. And I failed to see the connection there, but that's just a fact. Now, the most common mushroom is a thing called the button mushroom. You really don't have to effort for these. In fact, you don't even really have to go in the woods. You can actually find these on pizzas.
Oh, yeah. I've had those, yeah.
Get them in omelets.
They're pretty abundant.
Of course, mushroom soup. Heck, it's right in the name.
Yeah.
Now, I know what you're probably wondering about. Legendary little mushroom that became pretty popular in the 60s. The psilocybin, or magic mushroom.
Oh, I've heard of these, yeah.
Fact of the matter is, they do grow in the great state of South Dakota. Okay. Now, these little trippy, hippie little fungi can be found pretty much anywhere. In fact, they seem to like real moist places, and they seem to like bison and cow dung, too. They'll grow real close to those droppings if you're keeping your eyes out. Now, if you should make the mistake of actually choking a few of these back, which I may or may not have sometime over the years, in short order, you're going to find yourself sitting around a campfire somewhere in the woods doing, well, next to nothing, rocking a man bun with your lady all of a sudden refusing to shave her legs or her armpits. You're both wearing a pair of overpriced Birkenstocks and listening to Grateful Dead music. Nobody needs that in their life. And if I come across you doing that, although it isn't against the law, I will find something to write you up on. Well, happy hunting until next time. This is Ranger Dan out. Say it with me.
Yes, sir.
Nobody wants to buy car insurance. It's not a fun thing to think about, but it's something you need if you want to drive your car. So even if you don't want to buy insurance, you probably have to get it from someone. So why not buy it from InsuranceChicken.com? Okay, I'll admit, our website name is dumb. InsuranceChicken.com. Yeah, our marketing department is not that great. But our selection of insurance options is amazing. See if we can save you money each month on our dumb website, InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com. Time now for Water Cooler Talk with Mr. Dan Farris, brought to you by Lukewarm Tap Water.
Tap water.
South Dakota's looking pretty darn good during another national survey.
Good.
Yeah. Wallet Hub, you're familiar with.
Yeah.
Wallet Hub, they do all kinds of things, including apparently national studies to find out how states and cities and stuff rank in various ways. They just did a great big study on what are the happiest states.
Oh. Are we the happiest?
Just happy. We are not.
Well, we should be.
But we're close. We're ranked number 12 this year.
Okay.
So you got to ask yourself what defines exactly happiness, because
Right.
that's kind of a subjective term.
Right.
Doesn't always have to be external. It can also be an internal feeling. Happiness depends, of course, your attitude, how you approach certain situations. According to the study from Wallet Hub, some years, of course, are tougher to be happier than others. For instance, 2020, I think everybody's just been thrilled and giggly.
Yeah.
For example, actually, it's been proven to be kind of a bummer. But here's some of the criteria they looked at to ascertain these things. They looked at the percentage of depressed adults.
Okay.
And we rank 11th, which means pretty good when you look at,
Sure.
the 50 states.
We're the 11th most depressed or the 11th least depressed?
Least. We're actually good. We're in the, top percentile of not bummed out.
Good.
Okay.
This is always interesting, too. We get adequate sleep. We're actually ranked number 2
Oh, wow.
throughout the nation where we actually get
Right.
decent, the correct amount of sleep, which is nice. And he personally, for the people involved in this studio, thanks, Comfort King.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
A little free plug shut up there.
Good stuff, though.
As far as long-term unemployment rate, so in other words, people actually not being, having a job, we rank 8th.
Okay.
Which isn't bad. Are you following me? You see
Yeah,
how
that's
this
not so
works?
bad.
We're
Yeah.
doing good.
Okay. Volunteer rate, we're ranked number 13th.
Okay.
People just ponying up in their own spare time, getting some things done. Separation and divorce rate, 7th. But I can't quite figure out, is because we do a lot more than everybody else or less than everybody else. Must be decent because we're ranked 7th, so still in the top 10.
Okay.
I think in the positive. Income growth, past year or so, we're ranked 21st. So kind of middle of the pack.
Right.
There. And states with the fewest, wow, this is great they use this category. Wallet Hub says states with the fewest coronavirus restrictions. Overall score,
Yeah.
we're ranked number 1
Oh, yeah.
Nice. I love that.
in
that's pretty
the country.
Love that.
Some of our neighbors, Minnesota ranks number 3, which really surprises me.
Really?
Third happiest state in the union, according to Wallet Hub. So I'm wondering when this actually came out.
Yeah.
Iowa's sitting at number 8, so they beat us too.
Okay.
Nebraska, we're neck and neck. Nebraska is at number 11, and again, we're at number 12.
Right.
So there you go. I just thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
That's
That
very
is
interesting.
We ain't doing bad.
Not bad at all. Not too bad at all.
Fantabulous. We've got a little entertainment news to get to. Got some good news to get to. That's all on the way. And I just want to share something here.
Yeah.
We're going to finally put up our fence. We got a permit for the fence. What was that, like a month, two months ago, something like that?
Yeah.
And I did the whole call 811 thing.
Oh, sure.
And then I find out while I'm on hold, they go, hey, if you want, you can just do this online, which I thought was going to be a whole lot easier.
It's never easier.
About an hour so far on their website. But I just found out that if I want to, I can use explosives to put up my fence.
Yes.
Really? We can?
Well, I don't know. It just says on the thing. See right there? A little check the box. Explosives. I'm like,
Oh.
instead of digging post holes, I'm thinking,
Yeah, that would be so much easier.
if anybody knows where I can get me some dynamite to blow me some post holes.
That actually is not a bad idea.
I did not check the explosives box. So
I don't
probably
think
don't
that's
have
available
permission.
for just your average
I don't
everyday
know.
citizen.
But I thought I wanted to click the box just to see if they followed up to ask me what I was going
Well,
to use.
that's fantastic.
I've dug a lot of post holes over the years, and you know what?
You ever
If
use dynamite?
You can just blow one out. Boy,
Right,
that just
that'd
be
sounds,
way
better.
sounds advantageous
That'd be
to
way
me.
better.
Blow me some post holes. I don't think that's what I'm going to do. But I just thought that was fun. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris.
The old way of living with diabetes is a pain. The new way is with a continuous glucose monitor. You simply apply a discreet, easy-to-use sensor on your body. If you test your blood sugar at least 4 times per day and inject insulin at least 3 times per day or use an insulin pump and have private insurance or Medicare, you might be eligible for a CGM with little or no cost to you. Call now and say goodbye to finger pricks.
800-659-7805. That's 800-659-7805.
Time now for a bright spot of news, brought to you by Paul's Designer Showroom on Lake Lorraine in Sioux Falls. And our bright spot shines today on an event that's coming up next weekend. We've got Ann Whiff joining us. Ann, we spoke a couple weeks back, didn't we? And now we can already say it's coming up next weekend, which just seems like, holy cow, it's here.
Yes, it is coming up. So our event is called the 2020 Vision for Life, and it's the celebration of life at the 49th Annual South Dakota Right to Life Convention.
And this will be here in Sioux Falls. So anybody that's listening that would be interested in joining you, is there still time to get tickets to be involved in this?
Yes. So, yes, it kicks off Friday night, October 2nd, and it is at Sioux Falls First Church, 6300 West 41st Street. And the doors open at 6 p.m. with basically coming in and browsing. You can look at the vendors, the basket and silent auction items, and then our speaker will start at 7, and his name is Scott Klusendorf. He is the president of the Life Training Institute. He's going to be speaking on standing firm for life in a cancel culture. And he is just an awesome speaker. And a really exciting part of that Friday night, which is free, free for the public to come. It's the first 150 people will receive a MyPillow travel pillow.
That's really
that's
really
a
cool.
great little teaser to get. And hopefully you'll be so impressed with Scott and the event that you'll want to register for Saturday, which is the 3rd, and that's at the same place. It's starts at doors open at 8 with continental breakfast, and you can still register at that time. The program starts at 9. It's $30 for a single person, $50 for a couple, $10 for a college student, and it's free for 18 and under. And during that day, so from 9 to 5, basically, we've got 2 sessions going on. We've got the youth breaking off into their own session. So middle and high school kids will have a great program planned for them. They also get Marco's Pizza. They'll get spoiled. They have a panel of college students, pro-life college students from Augustana, SDSU, and USC that'll be also talking to them, as well as Christy Nome's daughter, Cassidy Peters, will be facilitating that. And so they'll just have a great time with their discussions and learning, I think, really a lot about how to activate what they believe. And I really feel like for our younger generation, that is the pro-life generation. And they've grown up, with their siblings' sonograms and also just knowing that life begins at conception. I really think that this pro-life youth generation will just floor us with how strong they'll be. Also, they'll want to come out, too, for Sunday. So the final event of this weekend is going to be the Life Chain on Sunday from 2 to 3 o'clock, and that is along West 41st from Sertoma to Kiwanis on both sides of the sidewalk. It's not a march, it's not a walk, and it's not a protest. It's just a peaceful hour of prayer, praying to end abortion. And so if you really want to know more about that, there's 3 ways to find out. You can either go to our website, Sioux Falls Area RightToLife.org. You can also show up at the walk or at the Life Chain at about probably 15, 30 minutes ahead. So it starts at 2. Show up at either Sioux Falls First Church or O'Gorman High School parking lot, and you can pick up a sign there, and then we can direct you where we need people to fill in the blocks. And the other way, too, is check with your pastor or your Respect Life person at your church and see if your church already has a block assigned to them. And if not, tell them, well, we want a block. I'm going to get my friends to come.
And that portion of the event is happening on Sunday the 4th. A lot of stuff going on. It's all next weekend. South Dakota Right to Life 49th Annual Convention, Friday, October 2nd, Saturday, October 3rd, and then the Life Chain is Sunday, October 4th. So it's a big weekend next weekend, isn't it?
Yes, it's going to be a big weekend. And so really, if you come check us out Friday night, that's a great time to just get all the information for the rest of the weekend if you haven't written this all down.
I'll throw a link to all of the information online as well to make it really, really easy. So I know we threw a lot at you in a short amount of time. Sioux Falls Area RightToLife.org is the website. And thank you again for taking the time to chat with me about this today.
Yes, thank you so much.
We'll have all the information on our Facebook page, facebook.com/sunnyradio and facebook.com/Sioux Falls News.
If you take Viagra or Cialis, call now with your prescription and pay as little as $2 a pill. Call Pharmacy Shop 24/7 to get generic versions of Viagra or Cialis for as little as $2 a pill, plus free discreet shipping.
Call 800-214-7977. 800-214-7977. 800-214-7977. Again, that's 800-214-7977.
Time now for entertainment news of the day with Mr. Dan Farris.
Because celebrities are fabulous. And when 2 beautiful people get together and tie the knot, it's double dip fabulous. But then things get a little rocky. Some of the most expensive divorces ever in the history of ever.
Okay.
I'd like a divorce. It's going to cost you. Oh, don't I know it? Don't I know it? Some divorces, well, in recent times, maybe you know a little bit about this, maybe not, and some of the people are completely insane, and some are just downright lovable, and you wonder, how'd you get that rich? Johnny Depp and Amber Heard.
Oh, that turned into a messy
one's
divorce.
Been messy.
That rodeo's been in and out of the news. Johnny he coughed up $7 million.
Oh, wow.
They'd been married a whopping 15 months.
Oh,
Wow.
I didn't realize they weren't married that long.
Oh, just 15 months.
Wow.
$7 million.
That stings.
Michael Strahan, loved him as a football player.
Okay.
He half bad on the old TV set
He's
there.
on that Kelly, what's her name? Ripa.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I know who he is.
Yeah, and he still does some football stuff, things like that. And his wife, Jean, let's see, they have two teen twin daughters, actually.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, she got a lump settlement of $15.3 million, plus $13,000 a month in child support. So
Whoa.
twin daughters are living fat city. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Matt Lauer, who turned out to be a total sleaze,
Oh, yeah, with a capital S.
and his then wife Annette, who wasn't real happy with that whole story,
Oh, I bet.
walked away with $20 million.
That's nice.
Hulk Hogan, ex-wife Linda got $30 million,
Oh, wow.
which was back then 70% of their combined liquid assets.
Whoa.
Plus, she got 40% ownership of Hulk companies, which apparently was fairly extensive too.
Jeepers.
Paul McCartney got blindsided by Heather Mills. Not a nice lady. Heather got $49 million, which really and
For him, it's probably like, I mean, it's
But
like
if you
a
recall,
parking
she
ticket.
was angry about that settlement.
She thought she needed
was
more.
hot.
Yeah.
She had originally demanded $250 million.
Oh, wow.
It gets better. Madonna paid ex-husband Guy Ritchie, who was a millionaire in his own right.
Yeah.
So how this thing worked, I really don't know. But Guy walked away with $80 million for her do-re-mi.
These numbers are all getting bigger and bigger and bigger, aren't they?
Yeah, that's how I kind of worked this.
Really smart, Dan.
Tiger Woods,
Oh, yeah.
who just couldn't keep the woods in the bag, paid off his wife, Ellen, $750 million.
$750 million.
That hurts.
Oh, that's nothing. Here's the capper, Jeff Bezos.
Oh, yeah. I
who-
remember
Oh,
this.
yeah.
TV anchor and whatnot, and his longtime wife, Mackenzie, who was instrumental in helping build Amazon as we know it today. Mackenzie said, yeah, all right, you can toddle off with your little new girl there, but thanks for the $35 billion.
$35 billion.
Can you imagine, Heidi, if something were to happen between the two of us, we're married, if, you know, you took me
I
for
would,
all...
if I was lucky, walk away with $35.
I was say, if you took me for all, I'm worth.
If I got you before groceries.
I got John for all he's worth, and that's $8. It's the nice thing about having nothing, Dan. There's no incentive to divorce me.
But again, it's all subjective. You know, I mean, I unfortunately went down that road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I walked away with a coffee pot, and I think I got a bath towel.
Congratulations.
I think something, but
I've been down that road. Heidi's been down that road. We get it. We understand.
Have. It's not fun.
Look, it's just stuff, man.
Yeah, I agree.
My ex, the only thing he asked for when we were getting divorced.
Keep in mind they had a child together.
Yeah. Only thing he wanted. I'm not kidding. You're not taking the Velveeta cheese container.
See? Like, what's important to you?
I'm like, done. Let's just sign it right now.
What about our son? You're not concerned about... All right.
But you talk these sheer numbers, though. I mean, when you look at it, for instance, Jeff Bezos, $35 billion. You know what? Jeff is still just fine.
He's still the richest man in the
In
world.
fact, all of these celebrities I mentioned, they're just fine.
Yeah.
It's just, but yeah, it just gets ugly, and and it's unfortunate.
They're
I
not
think,
worried about the Velveeta
you know,
cheese
in most
container.
cases, you know, from where I'm sitting, I'm, you know, divorce is just an awful thing, and
It is.
It is.
always is.
I don't wish it on anybody. It's
No,
it's a sad thing.
Absolutely not, man. If you can work it out and get it done, then
Yep,
that's
work it
the
out.
road you go down.
Well, Dan, thank you very much for the update, sir.
Hey, thanks for letting me on. Again, it's a privilege being here with you guys. It's pretty cool. So.
We have a lot of fun. I think, I was just talking to somebody about that yesterday. I said, we have a good time. And they said, it sounds like it. You guys sound like you have a lot of fun at work. I'm like, we do. I can't believe we get away with some of the things we get away with.
Oh, I'm disappointed by us every day. Just my cross to bear, I guess.
It is the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Mr. Dan Farris, brought to you by SiouxEmpireJobs.com. If you have a credit card, our friends at BetterCreditCards.com would like to make sure it's the best credit card for you. Take a few minutes to look at your current interest rate and then see what you get for points and perks. Then go to BetterCreditCards.com to see if they can help you find a better credit card. This will literally cost you nothing, and it could help you save money by getting a better credit card. Even if you don't have a credit card right now, you can check it out too at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com. Here's your Market Beat Minute for Friday, September 25th, 2020. The equities markets went on a wild ride Thursday. The market was up, then it was down, and then up and down again, all before the close of the session. The action was driven by a swirling vortex of news, data, and worry that promised to keep the markets moving in a similar fashion. On the one hand, there's evidence of a strong economic rebound, while the other, worries about the virus and the upcoming elections, have investors on edge. Among Thursday's news bits was the latest read on new home sales. Sales of new homes defied the consensus and rose over last month to top 1 million annualized units. The data is only the latest from the housing sector, showing strength and points to solid results from the home builders. Next week, investors will be looking for a raft of economic releases, including personal income and spending, and the all-important non-farm payroll report for September. You can get the inside track with Wall Street's brightest minds delivered directly to your inbox every day at MarketBeatMinute.com.